I know him. It's going to take a while. It happened years ago. Did you know there are three kinds of aces? Those who seek strength, those who live for pride, and those who can read the tide of battle. Those are the three. And him?
He was a fighter pilot they called Solo Wing Pixie. This man was his buddy.
Well, buddy, just look at the view. There's not much difference between those countries from up here.
He is the man I seek.
It was a cold and snowy day.
There's a large scale battle taking place near B7R. Golf team, we cannot authorize a retreat. I figured you'd say that. This is gonna cost you extra. This is PJ from Crow Team. I'll support you any way I can, Golf team. We get shot down and crash what I can't see. Roger that.
The Belgian War is shrouded in mystery. Everyone is a hero and a villain, and no one knows who is the victim and who is the aggressor. And what is peace?
Vulcan fighters approaching. Shoot them down and secure air superiority. They've got the greatest at the door. Time to hunt some wild dogs. These are round table fighters. Stay sharp. The round table's nothing special. I'll take care of things. No rules in a zone fight. You just have to take the enemy out. The fight does not end until one side is completely dead. Learn to accept it, kid. This is war. Fire away, coward. Come on! We will survive, Dawn.
Yeah, I know him. It's going to take a while. It happened years ago. Did you know there are three kinds of aces? Those who seek strength, those who live for pride, and those who can read the tide of battle. Those are the three. And him? He was a true ace.
He was a fighter pilot they called Solo Wing Pixie. He was a colleague of the man I seek. 10 years ago, there was a war that engulfed the world, the Belkan War. And in that war was a pilot who trailed across the sky and disappeared from history. He was a lone mercenary who inspired both fear and admiration. He is the man I seek. And so, with the words of Solo Wing, the curtain rises.
It was a cold and snowy day.
Listen up. We have a situation on our hands. A major squadron of Belkan bombers has crossed our border, and it's making its way here, to Valais Air Base. Apparently, they intend to attack our base in an initiative to gain hegemony over the entire Republic of Ustio. Valais Air Base is our country's last line of defense. If our base falls, no one will be left to stop Belka from taking over Ustio. Your mission is to destroy the squad of bombers and defend our base. Belka's invasion must end here.
It's starting to come down. This is Base Command. Guess all you boys managed to get up. Column 1, Goal 2, maintain present course. This is Column 2, roger that. Bearing 315, Belkan bombers approaching. Nobody wants to bail out into a mountain of ice. We're counting on you, flight leader. All units prepare to intercept. You better have our pay ready and waiting. That's only if we both make it through this alive. Be ready to pay up. We'll be back before you know it. Call team. Shoot down all Commander Golem Team. The enemy attack unit has been successfully intercepted. I'd like to see how those Belkin cowards report back to their superiors. Cypher, I got a feeling you and me are gonna get along just fine. Buddy. Golem Team, you have permission to land.
It all started on that snowy day. My first impression was, he had potential.
Thanks to you, Belka's attack on Valais Air Base has failed. Your efforts will not go unrewarded. Your actions may well decide who wins the Belkin War. I, for one, will be counting on it.
But now, a decade after the peace accords, a portion of the records was finally released. I quickly got a hold of it. Wanting more details, I acquired information from unknown sources. There was a reason for my obsession. The roots of the war lie in the Belkin Federal Law Review that took place in 1988. Belka, suffering from economic strife, permitted its eastern territory to secede, and the Republic of Ustio was born. But Belka's economic troubles did not subside. Meanwhile, taking advantage of the situation, the world superpower Osea continued to flourish. Amidst the economic panic, an extreme right-wing party took power within Belka, aiming to restore strength and stability to the nation. And on March 25th, 1995, with the discovery of natural resources in Ustio, Belka began to invade its neighbors. It was the beginning of the Belkin War. Unprepared, each country fell quickly before the might of the legendary Belkin Air Force. In just a few days, they occupied all territories except for the mountain range. In response, the occupied Ustio government military placed all their hopes on a joint operation between Osea and the foreign mercenary forces. This, of course, can be found in any history book. But I noticed a strange similarity in the materials I gathered. There were several accounts about a mercenary, all followed by the code word, demon. But most of the information was incomplete. Still, I was intrigued. I decided to pursue the history of the Belkin War through this mercenary. I was certain I would find something there. Would it be the hidden truth behind the war, or just another battlefield legend? I wasn't able to meet the mercenary himself. Actually, it's questionable if he ever did exist. But thanks to some old friends in the military, I was able to track down several individuals who knew him. Soloing is one such man.
We must regain control over Route 171, which runs through Arlen, to secure a transit route for our ground troops. There are bridges along this route, 3 over the RA River, all heavily guarded by the Belkin Armored Corps. Securing this route is critical to Ustio's attack on the Belkin forces. Destroy the Belkin ground units blocking passage along this route, and and secure the supply line between our forces and the Osean army.
Tom 1, you are cleared for takeoff. Altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck.
This is AWACS Eagle Eye to GOM. The target is in formation along the highway. Commence the operation.
Keep an eye on us up there, AWACS.
Belkin ground forces are blocking off our transport route. Destroy them all.
There's those fighters coming from Osean. They must be in a desperate situation. There's no way we're giving up this place. This route is Usio's lifeline. I'll get it back. Those houses are probably full of Belkin supplies. Better not take any chances.
Allied forces can secure a military transport route. Well done, GOM team. Looks like luck was on your side again today, Solo Wing.
Yeah, well, I've had my fill of going home without wings.
The mission was a success. Passage along Route 171 has been secured. Thanks to you, Ustio will now be able to launch a counterattack. Head Operations has issued an emergency order for a reconnaissance mission to be conducted near the border. You will be monitoring the airspace B-7R, currently under Belkin control. Strong opposition is expected by enemy squadrons, and the presence of a magnetic field has been detected, which may interfere with communications. In short, this will not be a walk in the park. The B-7R airspace is located above an area rich in subterranean resources, where many conflicts have been fought in the past. You're authorized to engage enemy planes upon contact. The time has come for your skills to be tested.
Belkin Priority 1 Strategic Airspace B-7R, aka the Round Table. It was the grand stage where we pilots performed. We were all on an equal footing, fighting under the same conditions. No affiliations or ranks to hinder us. Aces from every nation crisscrossed through those skies in pursuit of air superiority. The only rule of engagement was to survive.
Com team, this is Eagle Eye. Penetrate B7R and get a feel for the surroundings.
Com 2, roger. This kind of job is what we're all about.
Enemies on radar. Exercise caution.
Something wrong with the IFF? Only 2 aircraft are showing up on radar. Don't they know about the round table?
Com team, engage.
We will survive, Com 1.
Radar lock. Box 2.
Let's see what those planes are made of.
Bandits in gun range.
I've been hit by gunfire. Bandit down. Nice shot. Keep your cool, but be bold. My plane's taking a beating. Preparing to disengage. Be on the lookout as you approach. Watch out. The enemy's locked onto you.
Radar lock. Approaching gun range. Bandit shut down.
Figures are really well down. Now's our chance. Don't let them get away.
Bandits in gun range. Warning, the enemy's tracking you on radar. Approaching gun range.
Part 2! Switch cheese.
Com 1, missile launched. Com team, penetrate B7R airspace.
So those mountains in front of us make up the round table. I've heard my share of stories about it.
Warning, radar shows additional craft approaching area B7R at high speed.
Com 2 to Com 1. Enemy reinforcements, probably the main force. Round 1 to all craft. Time to hunt some wild dogs. Down them all. Roger.
airspace. Incoming message from Allied Forces Operations Command. Allied Naval Force has begun its advance. We appreciate your work.
Looks like we were just a couple of decoys. Yo, buddy, you still alive?
Well done. I'll make sure Head Operations hears about how you defeated an elite squad of enemy Typhoons. Now go rest up. You've earned it. The Ustio and Osean coalition forces are to launch a joint campaign. The collective strategic military force of the two armies will be referred to as the Allied Forces. The campaign will be called Offensive Campaign Number 4101. The objective of this operation is to secure a sea transit lane for the Allied forces. To secure this channel, the Belkan forces occupying the Futuro Canal must be cleared out. You will be given a choice of missions in this joint operation. Offensive Campaign Number 4101 will be comprised of the following 3 air missions. First, there is Operation Gelnikos. This is an air-to-air surface operation, whose objective is to wipe out Belka's air squadron, port facilities, and surface weapons. Next is Operation Round Hammer. This is an air-to-surface operation, whose objective is to wipe out the Belkan fleet, its port facilities, and surface weapons. And the last mission is called Operation Costa. This is an escort mission, whose objective is to protect the naval vessels in Osea's 3rd Fleet, including its state-of-the-art aircraft carrier, which will be making a trial voyage. Fierce resistance by Belkan forces is expected in all 3 missions. Choose carefully which one you wish to participate in. That is all.
Cover the Allied fleet so they can pass safely through the canal. No mistakes.
This is Captain Weaker on the Kestrel. All personnel, carry on with your duties, but listen up. Fight your way through the route carved out for us by the 1st Attack Unit. We're gonna get through this.
Lips on radar. Multiple enemy craft entering our airspace.
Guess they don't really want us to get through. Let's go. We've been on a winning streak since the Icy Mountains, and I intend to keep Castro. My fleet has managed to pass through the canal. We did it! Yes! We really did it! We've taken a lot of damage. We wouldn't have made it if it weren't for air support.
Operation Costner succeeded, contributing to the overall success of campaign number 4101. Having passed safely through the canal, the Osean fleet marks the beginning of our nation's counterattack. The mountain town of Solis Ortis is located just outside Ustio's capital, Directus. The Allied forces will deploy airborne troops, comprised primarily of Osea's 101st Airborne Division, over Solis Ortis, in a surprise air and ground attack on the Balkan forces. This operation will play a critical role in Ustio's liberation. Your mission is to provide support for the airborne troops. Destroy Belka's surface-to-air defense network and all interceptor aircraft, securing a safe drop zone for the airborne troops. Be aware of civilians still inside Solis Ortis. Your actions will determine their fate. Good luck.
Escort units, this is the 122nd Airborne. We're now entering the designated airspace. We can't return to base until we empty this transport. We're counting on you.
First, attack any anti-air troops positioned at our parachute unit's drop destination.
Get your asses into gear, people! You gotta jump or you're of no value to this unit! Anyone showing weakness will be left behind! Use that anger to get fired up and take them out! Understood? Go get them! Go, go, go! We're the best! We're the best! Move, move!
Solus Ortis have been eliminated. The rest is up to the ground forces. GOM team, mission complete. Return to base.
GOM 1, begin landing checks. You are cleared to land. You're coming in too fast. Slow down. 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 You're pretty good, GOM 1.
Operation Varsity succeeded. Ground troops are now en route to Solus Ortis. It won't be long now before Ustio is liberated. Preparations to liberate Directus are now complete. I will now brief you on the Ustio 6th Air Division's role in regaining control of the capital. Directus is divided into 5 administrative wards, centering on the River Crescere. Powerful weapons have been placed in each ward, comprising the Belkan Army's Ustio branch headquarters. This battle will determine our fate, as the annihilation of all enemy forces will mean liberation for the nation of Ustio. The enemy forces are primarily comprised of ground troops, but we have received information that, while not yet confirmed, there is also a squadron of high-tech enemy fighters. Your orders are to destroy the Belkan forces and liberate Directus. We can't afford to lose.
Start the operation. Release 5 sectors under Belkin control.
Cypher, let's do this right. I know you've got what it takes.
Commencing full fire.
Status report. Facility damage confirmed.
COM-1, engage. Enemy armored vehicle destroyed. This is Eagle Eye. It looks like all sectors have been liberated.
The city has fallen to the Allied forces. Any soldiers left, open up an escape route. We lost. The Belkan army. We've been defeated. We got our city back! They've got a reason to fight. This battle's over.
Warning! Warning! Enemy reinforcements approaching.
What? Now? Two craft approaching at high speed. Let's take care of them.
They're faster than anything we've come across. Commence intercept.
It doesn't look like they'll let us head back to base unless we take out those two planes. Captain, was he shot down? These guys are gonna be tougher than I thought.
Missile launched. Airspace threat eliminated. GOM team, mission complete.
We've taken back this sector. Belka is no longer in control.
Cypher, you hear those people screaming for freedom? That's where we come in. Directus is free of any threats now. Let's head back to base.
On May 13th, 1995, Ustio was finally liberated. The tide of war was about to change dramatically.
Belka's Ustio branch headquarters has fallen. Directus has been liberated. I just received a vintage bottle of Chateau Bauloise for the GOM team. It's a hard-to-find Cabernet. Perfect, I'd say, for celebrating an occasion such as this.
True nature of the war begins from this point forward. Accounts vary depending on the article and source. Everyone is a hero and a villain, and no one knows who is the victim and who is the aggressor. And what is peace? All questions commonly asked about any war in history. As the battlegrounds move to Belka, he is also thrust into the middle of this war. This is also where my interests shift from the war to him.
Intelligence reports that Belka is developing nuclear arms and V2, a weapon of mass destruction. The Allied forces' top brass have decided to send troops across the Hydrian Line into Belka to check for nuclear arms and secure resource interests. Centered on the ruined base of Gladysant, the Hydrian Line, Belka's long line of defense, stretches 700 kilometers from Osia's southern border to the border of Sapphire. Situated at the peak of Mount Freya, the ruins of Gladysant have been transformed into a modern base with anti-aircraft artillery and a powerful defense system. The GOM team's mission is to launch an aerial strike on Gladysant, opening the door to Belka for our ground troops. In all probability, this will be an extended operation. You will be able to refuel during the latter half of the mission. If you're low on fuel, temporarily withdraw from the battle and return to base. Good luck.
Calm 1, you are cleared for takeoff. Fire! Mercenaries have been busy flying in and out of here all day. Are the supply and fire prevention teams ready? How could you Protection, huh? What a joke.
Fire away at Gladysent. Your job this time is to take out their defense mechanisms. A return line is located on the south side of the operation airspace. All planes can pass over this line whenever they need to resupply.
They're here. Commence firing.
AA guns destroyed.
Missile inbound. Break. Lost control. Fire a missile into the hole.
Enemy facility destroyed. Radar lock.
One little mistake and it's all over. Shake it off. Freak right.
Locked on. Missile launched.
Don't expect us to do the impossible. This is area gate. The fire's broken out inside.
Sector A's been taken care of. Head for the other sectors.
Just stick with someone slick and you should get through this without a scratch.
Box 2.
Roger. Ready to release weapons. Check that out. It took a hell of a lot of gunfire to make those holes. Plane wreck. Gladysent must have shot him down here. Enemy spotted. Initiate attack. Someone fire at us from that mountain. We'll just have to sail through them then. Watch yourself. Are we really supposed to keep up with Cypher and Pixie on this mission?
Locked on. AA guns destroyed. Warning, the enemy's tracking you on radar.
Stay alert, you'll be shot full of holes.
Omelet dispenser launch. Missile hit. Golem 1, Box 2. AA guns destroyed. SAM destroyed.
Get the hell out of here. Apply envelope. Cooperate with all areas and take out those planes.
Radar lock. Just don't bite the dust. Missile hit. Locked on.
Looks like an ocean of bullets coming at us. 40% of enemy forces are under our control. Follow the call, team. They must hate our guts to put up something like this.
Radar lock. Bandits in gun range. Golem 1, missile launched.
Let your guard down for a second and you'll get shot to pieces.
Locked on. AA guns destroyed.
Status report. The area wall's destroyed. Did you get that? I repeat.
Sector E has been stripped of all functions. Well done.
We've taken extensive damage.
Radar lock.
Don't worry about the fire anymore. Dispatch more troops in the battle.
Bandits in gun range.
What's happening to Section 3? Haven't communications been restored yet? Head back to base.
attack powers have been neutralized. All planes, return to base.
Did something just flash?
The operation was a success. Gladysant has fallen. The Allied forces have broken through the Hydrian line, bringing the battle to Belka. I must inform you, however, that while you were on your mission, we received a report that the squadron attacking from Ustio's border was wiped out by a mysterious attack. We are currently investigating this incident. Belka's second line of defense stretches across the Shane Plains in the central region of southern Belka. Centered on 2 anti-aircraft camps, this line blocks our refueling unit's air route and is already delaying our military plans. This operation will consist of attacks on enemy ground troops and engagements with enemy fighters. There will be 3 squadrons in total. You can decide which one to accompany. Alpha Team will be responsible for destroying enemy ground ordnance. Beta Team's job will be to eliminate air resistance and destroying enemy ground ordnance. Beta Team will eliminate air resistance. Escort Allied transport craft after each mission is completed. That is all.
contact with the enemy base soon.
All personnel get ready for battle. Engage the Allied forces. The 6th platoon has been deployed. Awaiting your orders. Taken at 207 has been deployed. Engaging the enemy. The Allied forces from invading. Take unit 202 advance to the front. Stop non-jamming communication. Missile launched.
Missile launched.
Take unit 204. Move on. Defend area F. I'm setting the April platoon to area F. Just hang on until I get there. They're looking well as a team. They must have a capable commander. She'd always be talking about him. We will like ourselves too. Let's play the victorious battle for our area. That attack's on the air, Commander. Our barracks and fuel tank have been damaged. The Allied forces plan on wiping out this entire base. This place is done for. Who are all units? The Allied forces could never have beaten us if we'd only had more firepower. Another cell site was destroyed. Our defense line is gone. Call 2, engaging.
Missile hit. Fox 2.
The 11th defense line has been destroyed. The enemy is continuing north. You've all fought well. It's time.
Enemy forces eliminated. The threat level has been reduced. COM team, cover our transport planes until they're able to land.
There they are. It's the Allied transport planes. Thank you for securing air superiority. What was that? Something flashed again. Forward back! Where did that attack just come from? What the hell happened? AWACS, what's going on?
Hold on. Incoming emergency message from Operations HQ. Enemy launching long-range attacks. Guard airspace is within range.
Now you tell us. Where should we fly?
Transmitting projected enemy targeting coordinates. All units evade attacks and withdraw from airspace.
Here comes an attack. Watch out! Plane 4 just vanished. Allied planes are disappearing from radar. Plane 6 is gone too. This is bad. I'm out of here. Payload 10 is not responding. What's going on? That wasn't a missile.
You're out of the danger zone. GOM team, return to base.
Looks like we live to see another day, Cypher. Welcome back.
That was a bad nightmare. We lost several of our members. Mercenaries like us are disposable to the guys in charge. But in the end, we survived.
The mission objectives were achieved, but only after sustaining heavy losses from enemy laser ordnance. A war without honor can only result in massacre. You have fought nobly and deserve to be praised. We discovered that the unidentified laser weapon is a long-range offensive weapon, codenamed Excalibur. We believe it to be a Belkin anti-aircraft defense chemical laser weapon, developed as a missile defense system. According to our information, the strike zone is heavily guarded by a jamming facility and multiple anti-aircraft artillery units. Your objective is to destroy Excalibur. But to do that, you must first neutralize the jamming facility and the anti-aircraft artillery. Considering the importance of your target to the enemy, I'm afraid there's no way to avoid casualties from enemy resistance. In light of this, we've called in reinforcements for this mission. Work together with them to achieve the mission objectives.
I'll support you any way I can, GOM team. Crew 1 to Crew 3. When are you planning to buy those flowers? Wait around too long and another guy's gonna steal them away from you, you know. This is no time to talk about my personal life. Looks like a handful of fighters have come to the rescue.
We can even see it from here. Good job.
Yes! We did it! The sword has been pulled from the stone. It was Ustio's flight lead who did it. Right on! Now that's what I call teamwork. Cypher, you hear that warm welcome? It's the sweet sound of victory. Not bad for a group of misfits, huh? Well done!
All planes, job well done. PJ, don't get too excited and crash, buddy.
Yeah!
Although we didn't discover any nuclear facilities, Excalibur is no longer a threat. This can be considered a substantial victory for our side. Head Operations has recognized you as an indispensable component in this war, and expresses their utmost gratitude and respect. Orders have come in for an emergency sortie. A major air engagement is taking place as we speak between Belka and the Allied forces near the border, in the B-7R airspace, which Belka is committed to defend at all costs. B-7R, commonly known as the Round Table, has long been a symbol of Belka's political, military, and industrial might. However, at noon today, along with its lightning-quick commencement of Operation Battle Axe, the Allied forces officially announced the permanent abrogation of its non-aggression treaty at the Assembly of Nations, and simultaneously attacked B-7R with a massive fighter squadron. This mission may be our chance to finally end the Belkan War once and for all. I wish you luck.
to dive into the fireworks. I've never been in an aerial battle of this scope before. Where's the support? All damaged aircraft, return to base. Still no reinforcements from base. If only they get here, we can put an end to this all at once. Another plane's been shot down. The round table's nothing special. I'll take care of things. Our support's here. What did they send us? Our AFF has confirmed it's gone. The reinforcement team is gone. The guy who pulled out Taliber's sword is here. Be careful. We've still got to get the job done. I'll put that Uzi all mercenary in its place.
targets within combat airspace are down. Operation complete.
Yo, buddy. You still alive?
We were victorious in the B-7R engagement. The round table is finally toppled. According to our reports, the squadron led by that enemy ace in the Foxhound was the one designated to intercept and destroy fleeing aircraft. Thanks to you, our force's morale is skyrocketing.
Of the mercenary known as Demon Lord. I forgot about my job and read everything I had on hand. Around the time Demon Lord received his nickname, South Belka showed signs of weariness regarding the war. Because the region was set up as a defense line to protect the birthplace of Belka in the north, the people's dissatisfaction had reached a climax. The cities declared themselves demilitarized and peacefully surrendered to the Allied forces. Unable to establish a defensive position, the Belkan army kept retreating to the north. The end of the war was fast approaching. I was given an opportunity to interview the former aces of the Belkan Air Force. Back then, they were the masters of the sky, and they had also known him. So I crossed the border to follow his trail. I wanted to capture the war and the Demon Lord from their point of view, to capture the voices of those who were there. ROT Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 2nd Air Division, 52nd Tactical Fighter Squadron, Detlef Fleischer, also known as the Red Swallow. With his skill and demeanor, he was practically a poster boy for the armed forces. Today, he is a professor of history at the University of Dinsmark.
Back then, I was bursting with pride. I wanted to lead us to victory, for Belka's honor. Staying where it was nice and warm wouldn't accomplish anything. My flight's mission was to maintain air superiority in Area B-7R, an essential area that we couldn't allow to be violated. That day, when I heard the order from HQ for reinforcements, I became angry. The station force was in chaos because of just 2 mercenaries. There was no way the mighty Belkan Air Force could lose to mere mercenaries. My pride was shot, and the round table was defiled. What went wrong? Whatever it may be, the fact remains I was forced to walk a different path in life than the one I had envisioned.
Gelb Teams Number 2, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 5th Air Division, 23rd Tactical Fighter Squadron, Rainer Altman. He flew the skies of Directus during the capital's liberation, and he's still there to this day.
I met him above this very sky. I can still hear the sound of the missile alerts from that day. I received an order to fly to Directus on my way back from an intercept mission on the southern defense line. The order itself wasn't unusual. We kept being deployed from one mission to the next without receiving even the basic maintenance. But the situation was the same all around. We were late reaching the operational space. The station squadrons had already retreated, and warning bells were going off in the city. And the people were looking up to his plane, high above the sky. He pursued me relentlessly. As soon as I thought I'd shook him off, there he was again. The never-ending sound of the missile alerts put fear in my heart for the first time.
Head of the command group, and was known as the Vulture. Schwartz team commander, Dominik Zubov, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 13th Night Fighter Air Division, 6th Tactical Fighter Squadron. He fled after the final battle in order to avoid prosecution for various war crimes. He is still on the run and being hunted as an escaped killer.
Sorry about the accommodations. Goes with the business. I'm not active during the day. Back then, I was a shadow assassin, an escapee killer. Given the order, I'd even shoot down my own comrades. I received an order to take down deserting craft on that day. It was a typical assignment. But something unexpected happened. My target was no new recruit, but a top ace of the Belkan Air Force.
And he just had to go and run straight into the chaos at the round table.
The man was sharp, just like the rumors. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was that the mercenary team of Solo Wing and him were there. Thanks to them, I lost my target. I figured the least I could do was take them down in return. Of course, that was where my luck ran out.
Was. The man had complete trust in his own powers. He was born for battle, a demon lord who struck down all opposition. He paid no heed to the troubles of those who flew with him. Before long, everyone had taken notice of him. More and more would show up to watch him go off on sortie. Mercenaries or maintenance crew, it didn't matter. People wanted to burn his image to their memories. Hell, they weren't the only ones.
The Belkan forces are beginning to take flight. The industrial city of Hotham is crucial to the enemy's industrial strategy and the heart of its war productions. The Allied forces have decided that all Belkan war production must be stopped to expedite the end of the war, and has requested our participation in this operation. The operation will primarily involve the bombing of ground facilities by the Allied forces' bombers. Your mission is to support those bombers and attack enemy facilities. We have achieved near total air supremacy over the target area, but don't let your guard down. There may still be sporadic resistance.
2 to all units. I've confirmed a burning city up ahead. That must mean the bombing started.
Cover the Allied bombers. Eliminate all ground and aerial threats.
Let's move. To all bombers, remove Belka's ability to counterattack. Priority is placed on destruction over accuracy. Initiate bombing sequence. Bravo! Turn it to ashes. That's not enough. Drop more bombs. I thought they were on a precision bombing mission. They're just tossing bombs all over the place.
Locked on. Sam destroyed.
This is PJ. Something strange is going on down there. The number of burning areas just suddenly increased. Inform all units. This is an order from Operation HQ. Abandon Hawthorne.
Attention Allied fighters. Our tank unit's advancing to Sector 2. Some Falcon planes are giving us trouble. Take down those planes for us.
A Tomahawk just hit the city. Are those guys serious? So this is the price we pay for losing. Burn down the entire city. Set fire to the buildings on your way out. Northern push their way into Falcon territory. Even the Hawthorne is falling. What has become of the mighty Air Force?
Get out of Hawthorne. We don't have anything more to do here.
This can't go on any longer. I have to stop these bombings. Move to the left and drop the payload. Hawthorne has fallen to the Allied forces. They've got bombers up there. Fire! Fire away! The flames are spreading. Falcon City's gonna burn to the ground. Release all bombs before you get shot down. Johan, make some space on the truck bed. How are we supposed to do that? We're carrying a wounded soldier. The city's going up in flames! Learn to accept it, kid. This is war. You expect me to believe that arson and indiscriminate bombing is war? There's no mercy in war. It's a collision of powers. Even war has a set of rules to follow.
I've detected an unknown craft on radar. The blip is barely visible. It may be a stone.
Nobody knew why they were fighting anymore. All I felt at that point was sadness for the world. That's why
Pursued by Allied forces, the Belkan forces have taken flight, abandoning Hoffman. Without military production capabilities, Belka is in a bind. We were also able to confiscate samples of what seemed to be experimental weapons from the abandoned war factories, before Belka had time to use them. There are still pockets of resistance holed up in the industrial city of Sudentor. Although fleeing, the Belkan army continues to fight back, and are using the Valdreich Mountains as the final line of defense, in an attempt to prevent our army from reaching northern Belka. For this mission, we would like you to assist the Allied ground troops by clearing the skies of enemy fighters. The South Belka munitions factory is located in Sudentor, which means the remaining troops, although few in number, are well outfitted. Head to the designated operations rendezvous location, point 203.
someone down there I have to protect. We can't let them use those nukes!
Do whatever it takes to stop them. Prepare to engage enemy. 5 miles remaining. 4 miles remaining.
I see them! Enemy fighters with nukes!
confirm if the enemy squadron you engaged was equipped with nuclear weapons. We don't know all the details yet, but multiple nuclear detonations have been verified within the Belkan border. It is also unclear whether or not Galm 2, who disappeared during the mission, is still alive. We will continue our search efforts, but at this point there's not much hope. Our communications network is still down due to the nuclear explosions. Remain on standby until conditions improve.
I was still in school at the time, but I'll never forget the images I saw on the news that day. The Belkans set off 7 nuclear explosions on their own soil. Maybe their old militaristic leaders couldn't stand the idea of Allied forces invading their land, and declared to the world that the land to the north was the Holy Land of Belka. According to official records, more than 12,000 people died. It was a grand self-sacrifice that engulfed all. The only thing remaining was the desolate landscape. How did the people of Belka feel about what they saw? And what did he think of it when he looked down on it from the sky?
Discovered remaining enemy troops gathered in the Yering Mine area in northwest Belka. Numerous divisions of the Belkan army refuse to accept the change in government and are disobeying the command to disband. Your mission is to clear out the remaining Belkan troops, and if the reports are accurate, there are still plenty of them. The Higher Lark base, located in Osean territory, has been arranged for your refueling. If your tank is low, go there and they'll help you out. To compensate for the losses in Galm Team, Crow Team will be joining you. We're counting on your best performance yet.
You are cleared for takeoff. Altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck.
Galm 1, this is PJ. I will now join you as Galm 2. I'll be flying under your command now. Give me orders at any time. It's an honor to fly as Galm's number 2. And by the way, PJ stands for Patrick James. And I like to play polo. You know, the game with the horses. Maybe we should get going now.
The return line is located on the west side of the operation airspace. Pass over this line whenever you need repairs or supplies.
It's too bad about Pixie. I guess we won't be flying the skies together anymore. Belka still has an organized platoon.
Level has dropped off even more. Box 2. Release FAE bomb. Locked on. Don't panic. Just keep working. Missile warning. I missed. Fox 2! Fox 2! This war should be over already. Why would they do this after all that's happened? Fox 2. All attack targets have been destroyed. Comm team, not bad for a couple of rookies. Whew. All right.
The mission to clear out remaining Belkan resistance was a success. As to the intended purpose for using the giant hangar described in the report, rest assured that intelligence is looking into the matter. We've received a report that remaining Belkan troops are converging on Belka's northeast coast of Anfang. The enemy is deploying land, sea, and airstrike teams. These troops refuse to accept the Belkan interim government's official capitulation and are adamantly resisting. In light of the current political situation, this mission will be a top-secret operation carried out entirely by mercenaries. The mission will be called Operation Blue, and will be divided into 3 separate areas. The Mars Strike Team will attack enemy naval vessels and surface troops along the coast. The Mercury Strike Team will engage land units and enemy fighters that are using a tunnel as a makeshift airbase. The Jupiter Strike Team will be responsible for maintaining air superiority after the Mars and Mercury teams have completed their missions. This operation will begin at 1600, when the capitulation ceremony takes place in Lumen. Mars team will strike first, followed by Mercury and then Jupiter. Choose carefully which team you wish to join. That is all.
Take out Belka's remnant forces assembled at the coastline.
I wish I could adapt to the flow of battle like Cypher. I'll do my best.
We're broadcasting live from the signing ceremony here in Lumen. Senior officials from each nation have come here in hopes of a peaceful solution.
I'm gonna put an end to this war.
Today's signatures will ratify an agreement which calls for the disarmament of Belka. Belka's military forces will be reduced, and tension with neighboring countries will come to an end. The agreement will be covered in detail in a later broadcast.
Make them cancel the ceasefire radio announcement.
According to our sources, the agreement also touches on the possession of nuclear armaments. Nevertheless, the Great War that enveloped the eastern countries and cost the lives of so many has finally come to an end.
This battle should put an end to the war. They still have a lot of firepower left.
Enemy ground forces have been defeated. All ground threats are American remnant forces have been completely eliminated. Well done, GOM team.
Today is a day of hope. A day in which tension between different countries will be greatly reduced.
This is no remnant resistance. This war's not over yet.
Thanks to your help, the operation was a success. The ceremony was also conducted without any trouble. We're still investigating why so many enemy forces were converging together, but have succeeded in cutting off the remaining resistance forces from the rest of the Belkan army.
Of South Belka and Osea. It was a one-sided treaty that heavily favored Osea. The borders of the affected countries that fluxed greatly over the past years finally settled down at the cost of many human lives. The battlefield shifted to the tables, and the politicians from all countries squabbled with each other over the rights to the underground natural resources, the initial cause of this war. 6 months passed without any developments. 6 months I focused on this time period for the hidden truth laid there. And I learned that my pursuit of him was not a mistake.
In the Belkan army have pulled a coup d'etat. Calling their organization A World with No Boundaries, the forces bombed the city of Lumen, where the cessation of hostilities treaty was signed, using a giant gunship codenamed XBO. Your mission is to pursue the XBO and... Wait! We've just received an emergency transmission from the control tower. Unidentified aircraft are approaching our base. Scramble all planes. Quick, there's no time! Get into the air immediately!
operation.
We have to go into battle. The big target's easier to hit.
Nice work, GOM team. Operation complete.
Our death is not the end of everything. The rest is up to you.
There's a coded message on the radio. Decrypting message. Yo, buddy, you still alive? Yes.
Thanks to you, the XBO has been shot down. However, our base was heavily damaged in the surprise attack. The squadron that you engaged consisted of Sappan and Osean fighters. We're currently investigating the situation. Once we determine the location of the Renegade organization, we will launch a counterinsurgency operation. We have confirmed that the aircraft that attacked our base belonged to the major rebel organization, A World With No Boundaries. This highly organized renegade army is comprised of soldiers from numerous countries, including Osea, Sappan, and of course Belka. They are believed to possess a massive arsenal of weapons. The coup forces are gathered at Mud, in northern Belka, where they've confiscated the Avalon Dam facility from the Belkan army. What's worse, we've discovered that this facility houses an experimental V2 weapon. Unfortunately, it took us a long amount of time to uncover this information due to the facility's location beneath the dam's waters. Proceed immediately to Avalon and destroy the V2 weapon. Note that B-7R blocks your route from Valais Air Base to Mud. You will most likely encounter fierce resistance from the coup forces from B-7R and Mud. Remember to be prepared for attacks from land, air, or elsewhere when choosing which aircraft to pilot. This mission will succeed upon the destruction of the V2 in the target area and your safe return to base. Now go destroy that weapon and come back in one piece. Anything else is unacceptable.
Your final sortie. All right, launch preparations complete. I'll be back.
Pass through B-7R. It's an awful place, but the fastest shortcut. Maintain current course.
Roger.
Enemy aircraft detected close to area B-7R. There's no time to change course. Eliminate enemy forces in the round table and break through it.
Note 1 to all units. Begin the operation. Let the victor be justice. Demon Lord of the Round Table. I was hoping to meet you under different circumstances.
You don't have time to play around with them. Hurry up and shoot them all down.
There's no meaning in the round table anymore. What are you fighting for?
The enemy fighters seem to be highly skilled. Don't allow them to take control of the battle.
What are you doing? The war's ended long ago!
The table is surrounded by politicians who have never placed a foot on the battlefield.
It's a necessary discussion to build a peaceful world.
It's a disgusting squabble on who gets the largest share of the fight. That's why it needs to end.
What do you mean?
It is for that duty that we raise the king. That's why we're fighting.
Fox 2! Bandits down. Nice shooting.
So this is the Demon Lord. There's something about him.
Captain, we can win this!
Don't do. Carry on.
Damn it, they make it look easy!
Fox 2.
Looks like their flight lead is running the whole show.
Warning, the enemy's tracking you on radar.
Take out the enemy in front. Roger. Moving into action. Fox 2. Another plane is down. Revised flight pattern. He's flying in unpredictable patterns. Awaiting your orders. Please respond.
Enemy forces have suffered considerable damage. Comm team, you're almost there.
Demon Lord, what is it you hope to achieve on the battlefield? It's ironic to meet this way. I guess that's just how fate works.
Missile launched. Approaching gun range. Missile hit.
Open the boundaries will eliminate all forces.
All enemy planes are down. There has been no change in plans. Stay on course to target destination.
I'll follow Cypher to the end.
It seems the coup force is serious. An Allied Forces squadron approaching from a different route should be arriving at the rendezvous point any time now. There's no time to return to base. After refueling in flight, get over to Avalon. It's data we've received from the Allied forces. According to this, the dam is protected by an intensive anti-aircraft defense network. To deal with this, the Allied squadron will draw anti-aircraft fire to itself in the skies. Meanwhile, GOM team will join the Allied squad's Avalon Dam strike team and approach the target at low altitude through the canyon. That's the only way we stand a chance at succeeding. If you destroy the V-2 launch control facility, you should be able to stop the weapon from being fired. The V-2 will probably be equipped with a nuclear warhead. The destruction caused by its single warhead will most likely dwarf the damage inflicted by that tactical nuclear attack before. All the Allied forces will be mobilized for this full-scale operation. It seems this war doesn't want to come to an end. We must stop the V-2 launch. Hurry!
Pilots, check your plane and prepare for refueling. 1 mile to refueling craft. 500 yards to go. 100 yards to go. Perfect, Dawn 1.
To the water on your approach to Avalon. You'll be shot down if you fly high. Get to the enemy fortress. Once you're close, increase altitude and fly over the dam.
This is PJ. If I'm with you, I know I can do it. I'll follow your lead.
You've passed the first bridge.
Calm down. Calm isn't the only team that can fight. Our guys above are taking the heat. Don't let them down.
Hurry, but keep it cool.
My left wing's hit. Sorry. Savage ball going out.
You've passed the second bridge.
Damn, the wall. 2-3-10. 8 planes left. Gizmo 2, hang in there. It won't be long until Gong Team takes out the B-2. Check your plane and...
Comm team, keep low to the water on your approach to Avalon. You'll be shot down if you fly high. Get to the enemy fortress. Once you're close, increase altitude and fly over the dam.
This is PJ. If I'm with you, I know I can do it. I'll follow your lead. It's the Comm team. We've been waiting for you. Follow us. We'll escort you to Avalon.
You've passed the first bridge.
Damn, get it for him. Calm down. Calm isn't the only team that can fight. Our guys above are taking the heat. Don't let them down.
You've passed the second bridge.
Calm 1, all hell's breaking loose above. Fly as low as possible to your target.
My left wing's hit. Sorry. Savage ball going out.
Joker 1's down. 10 planes left.
You passed the third bridge.
Gizmo 2, hang in there. It won't be long until Comm Team takes out the B-2. Domino 2 is down. 7 planes left.
Joker 2 also went down. 6 planes left.
Damn, finish just when it choked. 5 planes left.
I feel like I'm about to hurl. Enemy fighters at 6 o'clock. No use, I can't shake them. Go on ahead. 2 planes are through. Who made it through? Calm?
All planes, Tony, pick them up. Comm Team will handle the B-2.
We're gonna stop it no matter what. I never want to see that Baron land again.
B-2 is ready for liftoff. Beginning countdown. 5 minutes to B-2 launch.
Take out the launch control devices before barriers close up and cover their facilities. There are 3 launch control devices positioned at the base of the dam. Destroy them all.
We will carry out the new creation of destruction through the power of righteousness. Territories, peoples, authorities, all will be liberated. This is the new state, a world with no boundaries will create. Neither nations nor nationalities have meaning. We will erase these unnecessary borders. The world with no boundaries will pen a new story. The world will change.
These barriers can
And this is where his trail ends as well. The impact of the 7 nuclear detonations on the world's psyche was great. Those who witnessed the carnage went on to organize a global arms reduction. Perhaps they were admonishing themselves. Furthermore, the existence of V2 was concealed. The events that occurred after the war faded from people's memories, and these men were also sealed away from history. Maybe this was one path to achieve peace. The curtain falls on this story. However, that does not mean their own stories came to an end.
But mercenaries who cross lines and allegiance for money have no country to protect. They only fight for their own power and fame. But if that was the case, then why did I lose to him? Maybe not having the burden of a nation allows you to fly faster.
Captain was gone. I've lived a comfortable life since then, and I probably have him to thank for that. They ring the bells here at dusk to honor the liberation of the capital. It signals peace, but to me, they are the sounds of death.
Though I guess it's hard for bad guys like us to die. The real heroes always manage to die first. But guys like him, Solo Wing, and me, we live the rest of our lives in hell. But then again, being alive is proof that we were good.
Marcela Vasquez, the Espada team's number 2 and former member of the Sapan Air Force, 9th Air and Land Division, 11th Tactical Fighter Squadron. She is thought to be a survivor of the Coup d'etat squadron. She currently earns a living as a dancer.
If the Demon Lord hadn't appeared, our lives might have been different. For me, it wasn't about flying or ideals. Most of all, it was about him, my flight lead. Our mission was to escort the heavy command cruiser that was to act as transportation for the organization. And the Demon Lord appeared, as if to block our path. I will never forget his overwhelming power. One by one, my comrades were shot down, and then the mother bird we were supposed to protect. We survived after the fight. We left our organization and returned to the ground together. But he was heavily wounded. He soon passed away, leaving me behind. We were only able to spend a short time together in peace and quiet. But I don't blame anyone. The regret and suffering that remained after that battle were also what he had given me. They're among the precious few things he left behind.
Anton Kunchenko, thought to be head director of A World with No Boundaries, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 18th Air Division, 5th Tactical Fighter Squadron. In his glory days, he was a Belkan ace, and later became head of their Department of Weapons Development and Technology. But the military sent him back out on the front lines as a commander. In March of 1995, he suddenly disappeared along with his platoon and was never accounted for after that. The Belkan Air Force announced that he died in combat. Several months after that, his corpse was found close to the Belkan border, The whole story is still shrouded in mystery. Wing Pixie. GALM Teams Number 2, and member of the Ustio Air Force, 6th Air Division, 66th Air Force Unit. That's right. This man was his buddy, and his enemy.
I should have died that day, but I didn't. I dragged my wounded body and reached ground zero of the nuclear detonations. A barren, empty land. I felt an unbearable sadness when I witnessed that landscape. There were still people living there. They were the ones that saved me. It may be true that the world has no need of borders, but would getting rid of them really change anything? The world won't change for the better unless we trust people. Trust is vital in a peaceful world. But that will never happen. I'm still on the battlefield. Right now I'm near a border. I want to see for myself what borders really mean, and what their volition really is. I may not find what I'm looking for, but I still want to try. Anyway, that's what I've come to believe, and I think that's enough. Will he see this video? If you do meet him, give him a message for me. Yo, buddy. Still alive? And thanks, friend. See you again.
Fear and admiration. His presence filled the skies for but a few short months before he disappeared. Apart from that, nothing is known about him. I was never able to find out what kind of a person he really was. But whenever they talked about him, they always had a slight smile on their faces. That, perhaps, may be my answer.